So Michael, tell us how this whole thing came together and maybe some of the roots at the Hack Day at the BBC in London.
Sure. So London Hack Day, you had 24 hours to build a working application and then 90 seconds to present. So we presented our idea, and we actually went over the 90-second limit, and they gave us a little leeway. But Nick and I had talked about the idea a few weeks before the Hack Day, and the concept was, wouldn't it be great if we could shift content between devices? What we had done is put an RFID chip into a mobile phone and hooked an RFID reader up to the laptop. So when you set the phone down on your desk, it would recognize you're at your desk, prompt you for some, load up the ShifD web page and say, okay, which content would you like to take with you when you're out on the go? When you picked up your phone, it would recognize that you had left and say, hey, we noticed you left. Here's some of the content you wanted to read while you're out and about. And we'd package that up for the mobile phone.
When you get to the screen, you see this begin typing here, and then you see the add button. And the user interface of how to add things appears when you start typing. So we're using some smart detection here. So if I come up here and I start typing, let's just say that you tell me there's a book by Cormac McCarthy that I should get, right? So I could just type in Cormac McCarthy, and if you notice that it recognizes that that's a note, right? So if I just tag it as a book over here and I add it, it'll appear in my notes column instantly, that I can then access from my mobile phone if I go to Barnes & Noble, or access later on if I decide I want to buy the book. If I'm out somewhere and you tell me to check out Beat TV, www.beattv, and so I send myself a text message to remember to check it out when I get back to my computer, and then I get there and I look at it and I say, wow, this is a really cool site. I want to save this to another social networking site. So I can simply just click on this little plus sign over here, and then I can go to the social networking site that I want to, and then just click that, and it'll get sent off, and then that's it.
Once you decide you do want to share something like a link to a story that might be interesting, you can push that out to some of the social networks like Dig or Delicious or Facebook. But really, it's a personal collection of your notes, places, and links.
I know it's early on, you guys are just launching, but who do you think will use it? And do you think they'll be using it on the web or with the mobile devices? How will it be deployed, do you think?
When we initially built this, we were actually looking to build something that Nick and I would use ourselves. And we wanted to be able to shift content between our computer and our phones, from our phones to our computer. And we're solving some problems that we didn't think were solved by other sites or applications out there.
It's funny because we built this because it didn't exist. If it existed, we wouldn't have had to build it. And so we built it to accommodate all the uses that we could imagine, and there's a lot. And so I've been using it over the past couple of weeks as it's really come together, and I send myself text messages all the time of things that a book I want to read that somebody tells me about, or a website that I hear about, or see in print somewhere that I want to check out back at my computer. Or I have two computers, one at work, one at home, and if there's a bunch of articles I want, I'll just shift them over, and then when I get home, I just pop them up and I read them. So I've been using it in all those different scenarios. If there's a recipe from an article that I want to save, and I want to send it to my phone that I can access at the grocery store, I can just select the text of what it is that I need to get, and I can just drag it over to my Air application, and then I can add it as a recipe. And it then appears in the Air application and on my mobile phone and on the website that I can access from the grocery store later. So here's the mobile site, which is the same look and feel as the site, and you've got your notes, places, and links, and you can just click and expand and go through your notes. And then I can access that recipe that I just added to my phone when I get to the grocery store. And it's the same functionality and same look and feel of editing and so on and so forth. When we built this, we wanted to make sure that both the design and the interaction were seamless across all these different devices that you use. So if you're on a Mac or a PC, or if you're in a browser or in an Air application or a mobile phone, and no matter what kind of mobile phone, that it was easy to transition your content between those different devices. So we decided to build mobile versions of the site, so that all you need is a web-enabled mobile phone. So we built, initially we built 3 optimized versions. One is for the BlackBerry, that's designed specifically for BlackBerries. One is for the iPhone, and then another is for all the other default phones. And the way we built the default version, we built it in a way that it'll change the layout and form based on what phone you're using. So we tested it on a lot of different phones. And it's really difficult to design for mobile devices because you go from a screen that's 100 pixels square to a screen like the iPhone, which is 400 pixels by whatever. So we really had to look at that, but that was the way we moved forward with it. So there's no downloaded application you have to worry about. You just literally go to shif.com on your mobile device, and we reroute you to the mobile version.